Hey guys, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another live stream with me here, Jose Najarro. Here to just take a quick look at what's happening in the market. Feel free to post on the comments also if you guys want to take a quick look at any stocks. Let's just jump right into it right off the bat. So right now, right, yesterday we had a pretty red day. Right now it seems to be a little bit opposite. The Dow is up 1.1%, 1.2%. The S&P is up 0.82%, and the Qs are up 0.3%. If we take a quick look at the maps, and I also want to take a quick look at earnings this week, so we're gonna do that in a bit. But if we take a quick look at the maps, what's happening? I mean, semiconductors are down right now. Nvidia finally did a split. It seems $184. It's down to 1.78%. AMD is also down. It's down to 1.2%. And Silenex pretty much following AMD, down 1.13%. Polly, good morning. Good morning. We have a lot of big names. Today, I do believe it's Netflix earnings. Netflix reports earnings today. Yes, they do. So after close, we have earnings from Netflix. Maybe some of you guys might be familiar, might be excited about Chipotle, maybe United. But Netflix is reporting today. I'm pretty excited about them, even though I don't own Netflix, right? I'm just super excited. I want to see how is the world changing now that things are reopening back again. Um, so so Netflix is definitely pretty interesting. What's going on, Q? Good morning, Q. You got some. So NPSNY is one of a kind business, in my opinion. Who I heard the name of this company from the American Indian Warren Buffett. Please take a look at this company. Has made the best historical investments. Decision by purchasing. Is this prospects Q? Good morning, Fizz. Good morning. How's it going? What's going on, Turtle Island? Hope everybody's doing good. Um, Hope everybody's having a good day right now. Q, was that prospects? Prospos? I forget what it's called. NPSNY stock. Naspers. And they're the ones who owned, I believe, the other one that owns. Okay, Nasper. We'll take a quick look at them. Q. Let me just see what's overall happening in the market. So let me take a quick look at my portfolio as well. How's everybody doing today? Any cool news in the market? Let's take a quick look at portfolio. Let's look at full charts. So what's happening today? So I mean, I'm unfortunately pretty red again. It's like that meme you guys posted. When the market is green, I'm red, and when stocks are red, I'm still red. So Teladoc, right? Teladoc is up right now 2%. We have Tattoo Chef also up 1.3%. We have Berkshire up 1.1%. Not much. Everything else is kind of red for me. My biggest down right now is in anything. Not space, but it's not a big position. Nvidia is down 1.87%, right? They did the split. It's so funny seeing Nvidia, kind of seeing Nvidia at $184, right? That's pretty funny. Seeing it post split. So I mean, it's pretty exciting. I feel like some people are expecting a form of a. This is this is crazy. Imagine if in the past month Nvidia really dropped 74.9%. I would be buying this like no tomorrow. But sometimes Google takes its time before fixing pre-split items. So that's why the stock price shows that it's down so much, down 75.45. So yeah, Nvidia did the split, sitting at $184 for the day. It is down about 1.84%. Fizz, more green than red. Yeah, Polly, you're more green than red. That's good. That's good, Polly. Unfortunately, I'm not there yet. This yesterday was a great day. Did you see the Peloton United Health news? No, I did not. Let's see. Peloton stock. My broker is taking their time too. So Peloton, right? It's up another 3%. Nice, Fizz. I know you were. This one's probably been a great in the past month. It's given 12.8%. We can see from its bottom, Peloton has gone up a nice 47.85% already. So what's the news happening today, Fizz? Let's see, Peloton news. Peloton stock jumps on United's Health plans to provide fitness classes to members for free. That's actually, so they're partnering up with one of the biggest, I want to say, isn't United Health like one of the biggest healthcare places right now? So that's pretty insane. Um, where the company is gonna add again name. It's more like a brand awareness to Peloton as well. So that's pretty cool, and the stock price is up 3%. What else? Anything else happening in the market today? Let's take a quick look at stock twits. Let's see. Nvidia is down 1.85. NLST, Netlist. I feel like I've heard of this one. Have you guys heard of Netlist before? What else do we have? RKT, Rocket Companies. This Rocket Mortgage is down 2.48%. Amazon is down 0.74%. Peloton is the one killing it with 3.1%. IBM, that's insane, right? I mean, this is the company that they've been seeing revenue decrease every previous quarter for like the past 8 quarters straight. I think consecutive quarters they saw a decrease in revenue. So it's nice that they finally saw revenue growth. Bezos, Greystone, I think he did already. I think he's back. Greystone, he is back already. He did his thing, and he's back. If I'm pretty sure opening at the opening bell he arrived. Yeah, he goes to space. He already Yep, he made it, I think. So that's old news already. I think that's why like space might be down a bit, just because people are seeing, hey, I don't know. But Amazon, I guess Amazon wasn't happy that he came back. Amazon is down 0.8%. Since I left working at IBM, the stock has been up. LOL. Q, so you were the one holding IBM back? Just kidding. So what else do we have? So Nvidia still is down 2%. Pretty insane. A lot of bears here in stock twits for Nvidia. Let's take a quick look at CNBC. What's happening? Jeff Bezos reaches space on Blue Origin's first crew launch. All right, we saw that already. NJ governor begs people to get vaccinated. Warns Microsoft aims to show Teams isn't just a business app in 2020 Tokyo. All right, let's see anything in the investment world. What to watch? Stocks making the biggest moves pre-market. Anything here? So we have IBM up after revenue increased 3.4%. Comcast, nothing interesting. So guys, feel free to post any comments you guys want to take a quick look at. Right now, Q wants me to take a quick look at Naspers Limited. I think Nasper Limited they own a good portion of Tencent. Let's see what we can find out about them. So let's open up Simply Wall Street. And guys, feel free to post any comments. So Naspers right now, it is, and let's take a quick look over the counter. I want to see what's really, it's market cap at $83.2 billion. Okay, that's all I wanted to take. Future growth. This company is expected to grow its revenue 22.2% on average. It is positive in earnings. It is positive in cash flow from operations right now. If you take a look at trailing 12 months, Naspers Limited operates in consumer industry worldwide. It operates through e-commerce, social, and internet platforms and media segment. The company builds various companies that empower people and enrich companies. It holds investments. So it's pretty much a huge investment company. They do a lot of holdings. I want to take a quick look at some of Naspers holdings. So Naspers holdings. Which companies are owned by two companies, Naspers? So since 31%, but the value is less than Tencent's portion, which is unbelievable. I mean, I wish sometimes they have a lot of information, Q, right? This is something that we would have to go super in depth for right now to really look at all the companies they own. But Process is one that owns a good portion of Tencent, right? So some people like owning Naspers or Process because they have another form of investment through Tencent. If you take a look at future growth, right, we saw strong future growth, strong fundamentals. If you take a look at their financial health, what do they have? They have a lot of long-term cash. They might be a bit leveraged right now, but I would say that's a-okay based on their fundamentals. I want to take a quick look at ownerships. Institutions own a good portion of it. This is such a big company, right? So I mean, I don't think there's much we can look at right now, Q, in it. But form of technicals, the stock price is definitely not overextended at all, right? The stock price has pulled back a nice amount. I believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. Um, and it might be one that, hey, people are not keeping an eye out, Q. Did you just recently buy into this, Q? Have you had it for some time? Russ, any thoughts on... They did sell a good chunk of Tencent. I believe the portion they sold off, Ed, was small relative to their position, but it was still a big... It was a huge numerical value, but it was small compared to their position size. I think it was like one point something percent that they sold off, but it was a huge number in form of value. Yeah, 2%, right, Q? It wasn't that big. But the number itself, like the actual monetary value, was big. It was like 4 point something billion dollars, or like it was somewhere between 5 to like $10 billion. But still, it was only such a small portion. Russ, what's going on, Russ? Thoughts on Airbnb? So I did an episode on Airbnb yesterday, Russ. If you haven't watched it, feel free to go watch it. I do like Airbnb at the levels it's at right now, $133.96. We can see a good support here. Pretty much what I talked about in yesterday's video. Airbnb, I mean, you have this pent up demand right now. I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. I do think their Airbnb, I always forget, expiration. What is blackout period? No, it's not blackout date. The Airbnb expiration, because this is a recent IPO, right? So Airbnb stock. What is the name? Lockout period. So the lockup expiration date has already ended. It was June 8th of 2021. I believe that might have caused a nice of the sell-off around here. I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated, Russ. I personally like it. I don't own it in my portfolio. Like I said, I did a video on it yesterday. But Airbnb, what do you get? You get a company that's expected to grow 22.2% on average. They're not positive in earnings, but they are positive in cash flow from operations. So I like that. They're also very good in balance sheet. They have $6.6 billion in cash, $2 billion in debt. And right now with the overall pent up demand, I think it's pretty cool. I definitely like it. And let me get you that video. Russ, so you can take a quick look at it. So I think it was this one. Let me just get it. Share, copy. So I'm definitely liking it at these levels. If I didn't, I don't want to add too many more positions into my account. Maybe if I had smaller positions, or maybe I might think of sell off some other ones and get into Airbnb. Maybe get rid of Uber. I don't know. I have to do some thinking, but I do like it at these levels right now. I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated where it's at. So you've been averaging on the way down, Russ. So I'm planning on doing nose, and won't need to spend a lot of money on advertisement in the long term. Yeah, I agree, Fizz. I mean, their fundamentals, right? They probably spend so much money on claims, on other stuff, that it's probably a very low margin company. Once they're all running, but still, like you mentioned, right? They are definitely known. One of those companies where brand awareness makes up a big portion. And usually, right? I mean, even low margin companies can become huge winners, right? Amazon is a great example of it. Just become the leader of that e-commerce and then start to expand into other markets. So who knows? Maybe Airbnb can do something, obviously not like Amazon, but start to expand into other product lines as well, as they become like that leader in the online lounging or vacation home rental space. Very true, right? So right now they can add high margin services. Yeah, imagine them having like some form of like a cleaning service. I think right now people are just paying just charge a cleaning fee, but what if they open up their own cleaning service thingies that work for all the areas within within their Airbnb stations? That actually might be pretty smart, right? They can do different things. Um, Smaller hotels starting to use Airbnb. That's actually pretty crazy, Ed. There's only one thing though I have seen is there is a bit of competition with it. I was recently looking at Marriott hotels. Just because sometimes when looking, I also look at hotels. But when you go to Marriott, you can start renting out homes, which I didn't know they did. So let me just take a quick look. I'm just gonna put a random stay, outdoor getaways. Let me just put something random, right? So if let's just say Lake Placid, you can now I'm pretty sure most places are also doing this. And there's not anything here. Oops. Damn it. Yeah, oh Russ. Yeah, Expedia owns Verbo, and that's also a competition. Um, let me see. Let me see this one. Dalton. I was kind of find hotels. Do. Man, now where I want to see it, they don't show me. This is pretty lame. Pretty lame. Back then I was able, let me just put random dates. Maybe it's because I don't have dates. Does the competition matter as much when Airbnb is a bit? That's true, Fizz, right? That's definitely true. When competition, when you become a verb or a name, man, I don't see it now. That's so weird. You made a liar out of me. Right here, so you can rent entire homes, and it's pretty much right. So you can do like guest stays, and I don't think they're gonna be much different in prices. I think it actually might be better because if you are, for example, a Marriott person, now you can still get points if you do it this way. And I wouldn't say the prices is any different from Airbnb. So interesting for sure. That's true, right? Ed, yeah, that's a good point, Fizz. But Russ, I booked my first Airbnb for vacation yesterday, and the app function is pretty sweet. Agree with Fizz. If you rented a vacation property on one of these other sites, you would tell friends and other fam you got an Airbnb, no matter where you got it from. Just easier to explain. That is so true, Fizz. That's very true, right? I'm not gonna be like, hey, I went to Marriott, I went to blah blah blah. I'd be like, hey, yeah, I did something like Airbnb, and just rented a house. That's actually very true, Fizz. To me, it validated Airbnb more if the big guys getting in. And that's actually another good point, right? If you see big players getting in, just like the EV market, right? Sometimes you have to wait to see, hey, if the small players are getting a piece of the pie, then the big players are like, okay, we see that these companies are doing good. Time for us to enter big. So very true, right? When very similar to the EV market, when big guys start to get in, that's when it's really time to start looking into it. So what's up, guys? Any other stocks you guys want to take a quick look at? I'm getting a little more green in my portfolio. I'm more happy now, so it's definitely getting better. Um, we still got some red. AMD is still down. It's down about 0.6%. Nvidia is down 1.5%. But like we said, it's pretty much more green right now. Doesn't mean it's a great investment, but it's just a way of things to go for a company. Like this allows them to spend less on advertisement. Very, very true, right? I'm pretty sure like Peloton, right? Peloton originally, like they mentioned, I've done a few videos on Peloton in the past. They mentioned that they spend so little money on advertisement because they are just this huge brand, and word of mouth is one of the greatest things, so they don't spend much on advertisement like some of these other equipment or exercise places. So let's see, what else do we have, guys? Any other stocks? I mean, today we have Netflix. I really want to take a look at Netflix earnings today. I don't know if any of you guys hold them. Two few things I want to take a look at from Netflix is, are they going to talk about the gaming side? Um, this is definitely going to be a pretty crazy move. Netflix tosses his hat into the world of games. Netflix is offering video games in 2022. So hopefully they talk about this. What's going on in judo? Hopefully they talk about this in today's in judo. What is up with you? You and judo, are you Q? Q actually just mentioned that one. Process. Actually they talked about Naspers in judo. But unfortunately, that's such a big company. I don't think I can do it in this live stream. Oh, Fizz, that's true, right? It's probably gonna be, if they don't mention it in the earnings call, they probably want to talk about it during the earnings Q&A section, right? So hopefully they do get some questions about games. Netflix is offering video games in 2022. I don't think there's any real news at the moment, but I mean, to be honest, I thought they were gonna do more Roblox games first before entering the gaming market. I thought they were, but I do think Roblox is in a great position right now. We're gonna get a lot of media companies. I can see something like Disney, something like maybe Warner Brothers, just kind of create games on Roblox instead of spending so much money in creating their own individual games. But Netflix offering video games in 2022, pretty weird. Is definitely a flip of the coin. I want to hear about that in the upcoming earnings. Oh, nice. Peloton game is coming out this year too. I think it's made with Unity because they had job listings for Unity devs last year. Unity, oh man, Unity is one I enjoy so much. A very nice platform to create games. So that's pretty cool that Peloton is moving into that. Peloton is one of those companies that can easily make it into like the metaverse world talks if needed. So that one's pretty interesting. And Judo, I think it's a good way of buying Tencent 30% cheaper. So, and Judo, do you have a good Judo? Do you have a good position on process right now? Are you thinking about buying? What are your thoughts? Maybe I'll do a little more research on it. That one's pretty heavy intensive and information intensive for Judo. That I want to make sure I get everything right. So Russ, thoughts on Pinterest? Bought in at 69. It's been up and down since, pretty flat. So let's take a quick look at Pins. What do we know about Pinterest? So Pin stock right now is sitting at $70.48. At least you're in the green right now. From its 52-week high, the stock is definitely down a nice amount, 20.95%. Henry, what's going on, Henry? You want to talk about Fubo TV? We can definitely take a quick look at that. But first, Russ, so Pins, I'm pretty sure I've done... Jose, have you revisited Huya since the merger was blocked? I kind of talked about it, just talked about the merger being blocked. At the moment, I don't want to increase my exposure internationally too much, especially in China. So I haven't sold any positions. I'm liking it where it's at right now. Huya was one that the main reason I haven't revisited this is Huya was one that I got into and liked before the merger. So pre-merger talks, I was already in Huya. So that hasn't changed. I did kind of get some information on Huya and Doju that they were kind of being looked into for online gambling, illegal online gambling by streamers. So that might affect the company a bit, even though that's old news. Something to keep an eye out. But Huya, haven't really taken a look at it too much right now since I am buying. I'd rather invest somewhere else right now on Fizz. So let's see, what were we talking about Pinterest? So Pinterest, I did do a few videos on it after the earnings came out. And one of the things with Pinterest and with like a lot of these social platforms and a lot of these subscription places is how are they going to deal with now that the world is opening up? So during their last earnings, companies like Pinterest, companies like Netflix says there's going to be a slowdown in new added subscribers. There's going to be a slowdown in overall monthly active users. That's what they gave us last earnings seasons. This earnings seasons, I want to say, is probably going to be the first earnings seasons with the world, especially here in the United States, going back to somewhat normality. So it really is going to paint a picture of how these companies are going to do. So I think that's why a lot of investors are pretty excited about Pinterest. They're going to be pretty excited about Netflix, depending on how earnings come up. So I think Netflix is going to give all these subscription companies a good idea of where it's going. And that's why I want to take a quick look at Netflix today. Are people still subscribing? Is there a decrease in monthly active users? Is there a decrease in subscribers? But let's take a quick look at the overall price performance for Pinterest. So Pinterest, I believe at these levels, 69 or around where you bought is a good, for me, good technical wise. I wouldn't be upset buying at these levels. If we take a quick look, and what's going on, David? How's everything? If we take a quick look at fundamentals, what do we see? When you buy Pinterest, you get a company expected to grow 26.4% on average. You get a company that is expected to be GAAP profitable in the upcoming 12 months. They are probably not GAAP profitable already, which is good. They are positive in cash flow from operations. If you take a quick look at their financial health, they have a balance sheet of $2 billion, no debt to their name. So overall, I see fundamentally it looks pretty cool. Russ. So I like it, right? I don't have it in my portfolio. Fundamentally, they look nice. I do believe they might have made an acquisition sometime this quarter. So that might affect the balance sheet. But overall, Pinterest is okay. I think it's going to be super volatile until things get to a more normal where we get a better things. When we get a better look on how subscribers and monthly active users are looking for the company. So Fizz, does anyone ever even think about canceling Netflix? I get Netflix free through T-Mobile, and that's true, Fizz, right? I feel like there's just so much password sharing though, Fizz. That's the only thing I hear. So I feel like, I mean, most people that I know share their Netflix accounts, and so many people don't have it on their own. That's the only thing I have. So I don't think I've ever seen a company. I don't think I've ever seen someone say, "Hey, I'm canceling Netflix." But I've also never heard someone say, "Hey, I have my own Netflix account." Actually, I have. That's a lie. Yeah, you're right. I just haven't. Do you have a tutorial video on how you use Simply Wall Street? Danny, I do not. Maybe I should look into that, Danny. For sure. That's a great idea. Thank you. So does anybody have any stocks they want to take a quick look at? What else do we have? How is markets doing right now? Right now we have pretty green. I'm happy. I honestly okay, right? Not too. I wish we were red again. I wish we were red until Thursday, because that's when I put money into the market. But it's good to have people green. So Dow's up 1.3%, Nasdaq is up 0.67%, S&P is up 1%. My overall portfolio, I want to say it's more on green than red. Yeah, it's more green than red. So that's pretty cool. I'm happy. I'm impressed actually. I'm impressed. C Limited is still holding pretty strong, 272. This one I'm super excited about earnings. I haven't taken a look at any app recently. Let's see if we look at gamings, let's look at United States, iOS, and overall. So Pokemon is in iOS is the highest grossing. Disney Plus, you have Roblox, you have Garena here, which is pretty interesting. Let's go to overall games. What do you have in the games? You have Pokemon Go, you have Roblox, you have Garena, you have Candy Crush, and you have Supercell. You know who owns Supercell? Tencent, I believe. Tencent owns Supercell, and they own Clash of Clans. You also have two Activisions in top grossing for yesterday. You have it through Candy Crush, and you have it through Call of Duty. So overall, looking pretty cool. Now let's take a quick look at Google Play. Overall, Pokemon Go. Did Pokemon Go just release something new? I haven't really followed it. Matthew, we can take a look at T-Doc in a bit for sure. So Pokemon Go is #1 grossing. We have Google One. I'm not sure. What is Google One? How is that top grossing overall? But what else do we have? We have Candy Crush, Disney Plus, we have Garena, and we have Roblox. This is interesting for sure. So Disney Plus is on their top grossing. Are more people subscribing to it compared to overall? Was that the same for iOS? Disney Plus was there. That is interesting for sure. So is this telling us that Disney Plus is gonna show some strong numbers? Is it because people are excited for the new movies? Black Widow movie? Is Black Widow movie pushing new subscribers to Disney Plus? What else did they release? I think they're releasing Loki as well. They're releasing some movie with The Rock. So this is actually interesting. I'm really excited about this. AMD was also compelling, but run out of money. So let's see. Elias, you're buying the dip. Nice. So Elias, you bought Palantir, you bought Baidu, Tencent, Curry, Viacom. Crypto bought after opening lows. Nice, Elias. Nice. So Russ, thanks for taking a look at perspective. No problem. Um, Roblox and Square. You want to take a quick look at those two, Russ, or are those ones you bought on the things? So that's actually pretty cool. I thought Google one was a donation platform. I wonder how it's highest grossing, but it definitely is pretty interesting. Now, if we take a quick look at games for Google Play, let's see games overall. We got Pokemon Go. So Pokemon Go must have came out with something new. I don't know who owns Moon Active, but Candy Crush, that's owned by Activision. We have Garena, which is C Limited. You have Roblox. You have Bandai. This one's one I've been looking at recently. Oh, Fabio, say Jose, thanks for that. Pokemon Go had a lot of events and updates recently, including distance gaming raids due to the pandemic. I think that did the trick. Yeah, I mean it's number one. Pretty interesting for sure. I want to see if we go to streaming, or is there like a video here? Video players? No, maybe not. Where would Disney Plus fall under? To Disney Plus would probably fall under entertainment. So you have Disney Plus, HBO Max is also getting good numbers. It seems Paramount Plus is also doing great numbers. Crunchyroll, I forgot who recently bought Crunchyroll. This is an anime. I use it, but one thing, I mean, I don't see Netflix. I guess more people subscribe to Netflix online. It is the top free download. So I do think it's gonna be a good day for a good quarter of subscribers for HBO and Disney Plus. Looking at these charts, HBO and Disney Plus are looking really go. Who owns Warner Media? Is that Viacom or is that the other one? That's Viacom, right? Who owns? No, that's AT&T. HBO Max stock. AT&T, right? AT&T owns them. Interesting for sure. Just things to keep an eye out, right? Matthew, yeah, Black Widow's probably helping it out a bit. So let's see. And Judo, but they're selling. I enjoy playing Pokemon Go during my commute, sometimes pre-COVID. Haven't played since. Yeah, Fizz, I used to play a nice amount too. From time to time, right? I don't mind it. Reverse merger with Discovery. They're selling it. Okay. So smart move for Discovery then. I enjoy playing Pokemon Go. Fizz, same. I used to play it from time to time. There might be I might go months without playing it, then I might play it for a week and then go back to months without playing it. So someone was talking about Nvidia. Who was just talking about it? I saw Nvidia somewhere. And Judo, take a look at Square if you can work in it. Russ, I feel Russ like you man, Russ, you gotta start watching my videos, Russ. I feel sad that you are in the streams and you're not watching my videos. Because yesterday actually, I did talk about Square as well. So I talk about Airbnb and Square. Were you the one that asked about Airbnb, Russ? Was it you, Russ? Let's see. Oh, you were? Yes, Russ, it was actually you. So, Russ, in that actual same video where I talk about Airbnb, I also talk about Square. A lot of great news for Square. I'm very bullish in Square now after I already have Square in my position, Russ. But after yesterday's video and all the new news that have come out for Square, I'm even more bullish in that company. It looks pretty impressive. Jose Ruthless calling us out. But yeah, Russ. So here I did talk in that one. I talked about Airbnb and Square, Russ. So definitely check out. I'm pretty sure you're gonna enjoy the video since you want those two companies. Fast bitter and Fizz agree. Better do your damn homework. Russ is just trying to hype Airbnb for a short trade. I don't think so. I mean, I don't. Unless you have whales watching me, I don't think anyone's really trying to pump anything. Might have to check out Airbnb myself. Charts look fine for a position. Danny, I agree, right? I mean, I like it in form of technicals. I still haven't pulled the trigger. I don't think I'm definitely not gonna pull the trigger this week. I already know the 4 stocks I'm planning on buying on Thursday. What's going on, Pilly? How's it going? Let's see what else. So someone wanted to take a quick look at Nvidia. So in Judio, is it a good time to buy Nvidia? For me, in judo, I think it's always a great time to buy Nvidia. Obviously, right now the stock is down 2%. If we're talking about 5, 6 years from now, I wouldn't mind dabbling in a position right now, right? In judo, obviously, Nvidia is already a big portion of my portfolio, so I'm happy. I'm not adding right now. If maybe I had a smaller position, I would add a little bit here and there. Right now wouldn't be a time where I would go super heavy in judo. Definitely not a time I would go super heavy at all. I would Now would be the time where I would open up a small position. Oh, Russ, you just found me. Oh my God, Russ. Now I feel bad, Russ. I apologize. I am sorry. Um, but yeah, yeah, Russ. In those two videos, in that video I talked about Airbnb and Square. Definitely. So yeah, in judo right now, I like Nvidia. Right, Nvidia for multiple years, 5, 6 years. I believe the stock price is going to be a lot higher than where it's at right now. Where we're at right now, though, if more of like short-term movement, I do think there's huge volatility in Nvidia still coming. So right now would be a time where if I want to add a position, I'll buy a little bit here and there. Jose, do you remember when I bought a little ATER at 25? Which one's ATER? I forget that one. ATER, Ethereum. I don't remember this one. Yeah, Square, Russ, I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. And Russ, if you're new here, let me even give you, because I was so mean to you just now, Russ. Let me be nice to you. Let me give you a free invite to my Discord group. It's a special for you, Russ. It's free. You can join the Discord channel. And in the Discord channel, we have a lot of great investors. Obviously, it's free to anybody. It was just a joke for us. But we have a lot of great investors there. I also post every time I buy and sell. If you go there, I have a lot of resources. So if you go here, you can see resources I put all the videos, all the websites that I use, a lot of the books I use. And I also have my overall accounts. I kind of did an update. I haven't done an update, but I kind of showed my position size. You can see NVIDIA's like my #1 position. Right now, my account is a little bit over 100 at the moment. So definitely, check it out, Russ. It's free, right? We have a lot of great investors. Most of us there are long-term investors, Russ. I'm personally not a trader. I do not enjoy trading at all. I like buying a company and holding it for long-term of things. Abs, what's going on, Ab? You love Moderna. Very honest. What's going on, RM? I like it. I like it too. You know what's the best thing about being honest? I don't have to worry about acting like I said something before. But yeah, I post every time I buy. I post every time I sell. It's free to anybody that wants to join. We have a lot of great investors there. So definitely check it out. All the products I use are also there. Danny, I do like a sell-off to be a little bit more, right? I mean, yesterday was nice. Unfortunately, I buy on Thursdays. Thursdays is when my money comes in from work, and that's when I buy in. Well, that's when I pay myself, pretty much. So I give myself a payday every Thursday. So that's when I buy in. I tried to trade Wish, and I think I'm now a long-term holder. Lesson learned. So that's the problem, right, Fizz? Sometimes you come in with the plan of being a trader, and then it hurts, and you become a bag holder, right? Or a long-term holder. But what do we see right now? So more green now. So we're getting more green. Market is definitely turning around. My money just came in. I'm getting my arse into Boeing. What do you think about Boeing? So Danny, there's certain stocks in certain markets. There's certain stocks in certain markets that I'm not interested in, not because the company is bad. It's just not a market I'm excited about. Boeing would be one of those, right? So I mean, I used to kind of work in the aerospace and defense industry, so I like that industry. I like it. I just don't like it as an investing style right now. So like normally I don't invest in like Lockheed and General Dynamics and Boeing. I do like companies that work with them. I do like small cap companies that work in the aerospace industry or work with some of those big names, because it's very hard to become a customer of like Boeing. It's very hard to become a customer of Lockheed, of General Dynamics, because they have to go through so many forms of security and stuff, that I believe when you're a small market cap company like OSS and you kind of work with big names like that, that has already created a great moat for you. But big aerospace and defense industries are not my ones I like. Right now, if we take a quick look at fundamentals, I mean, it doesn't seem like the stock is overextended. Let's take a quick look at fundamentals. Oops, BA. This is Boeing. So BA, if we take a look at future growth, the company is expected to grow 8%. Unfortunately, COVID has definitely hit this company really, really hard, right? It took a huge hit in revenue. Yeah, not only that, right? There was also their issue they were having with their airplane, the 747s, I believe, really caused huge revenue decrease for this company. They're no longer positive in GAAP earnings. They're not positive in cash flow from operations. I do believe this is a company that's going to do fine in the future, just not one I'm liking in forms of fundamentals right now, right? I'm not saying Boeing is going to go under. Definitely not. They have great customers. They have huge support by governments and great other companies as well. But I'm just not liking their fundamentals. $21.9 billion in cash, $62 billion in debt. They are a bit leveraged, but I want to say it's because they do have a lot of inventory. So inventory plays a good portion of their balance sheet. Overall, Boeing, not my style. Let's say my dad or my mom come up to me and like, hey, Jose, would you say I should buy some Boeing? I would be like, if you want to, maybe buy a little bit. I wouldn't say, I would tell them maybe not a big position. But that's just me, right? That's just me. Doesn't mean it's a bad investment, just not one I feel comfortable talking about. Yeah, so I mean, this is one, yeah, for sure. Once recovery, I do think, Danny, once the recovery from the planes, once the recovery from COVID happens, this could definitely be a huge turnaround story, Danny. But I do think it's going to take a nice amount of time for all that to happen. So long term definitely increases the chances of success on Boeing. RM, do you think we are going to have 15 to 20% correction soon? 15 to 20% correction in the overall market, like the SPY, I don't. I think it's possible, right? I don't think a high possibility, RM. Maybe in more growth stocks. Again, in growth stocks, yes, RM. I do think it's I think it's possible that very soon we can still see a huge correction in certain markets. In certain markets, I believe maybe like I take a look at a few ETFs from time to time. Right now, for example, the software. Let's see, the software ETF that I follow is this one, World Cloud. So World Cloud actually now it's taking a nice dip. World Cloud, I used to think software companies were a bit overextended. So overextended, I do think is possible in the software market. So the software market, I can see them seeing quite a pull down. Heavy growth stock as well. The gaming industry, for example, I follow Gamer, which is a gaming ETF. The gaming industry, I don't think it has a 10 to 15% drop. The emerging market, unless the overall world explodes, I don't think the emerging market can continue. I think the emerging market has already seen quite a big pull down. I think right now it's mainly software stocks still that can see a correction and strong and heavy growth stocks. I think those are the major ones that can see that good correction. Obviously, anything is possible. Any market can see correction. But I do think the software and heavy growth stocks can still continue to see the correction and have the highest chance of doing it. Ah, do. And what are your thoughts, RM? Does anybody have any thoughts? Does everybody think we're at the bottom? And at the same time, right, just because I believe, let's say, software stocks or the heavy growth stocks can have a correction, that doesn't mean I'm not going to invest in them, right? Because I'm not trying to time the market. It just tells me, Jose, if you want to enter into software stocks right now, excuse me, maybe not go a heavy position. Maybe go with the smaller position and just limit your risk a little bit. So it doesn't prevent me from buying if I believe the market is going to take a dip, because I believe timing the market is not the greatest idea. But it does kind of prevent me from going too heavy within the market. So I still get exposure, but I'm not as heavily exposed. So every single week, I think for the past, there was a point in I think in March or April that I stopped buying, but after that, just because due to some income changes, now things are back to normal. I'm buying every single week. Gordon, agreed. There's never a right price to enter. It depends on your perceived value. Very true. And that's why I think every investor is different, right? It's never good to just follow analysts or just follow YouTubers or just follow Twitters. You have to understand somehow, some way, what kind of value you give a company, where you see it going in the future. Because some of these stocks are going to see, if maybe in the next 6 months, maybe in the next year, might see heavy drops. And you have to feel comfortable holding those positions even during a red time. I'm already negative already though. RM, hey, RM. I mean, sometimes we are negative. A lot of people, especially if you just started. I don't know when you started, RM. Sometimes we start at the wrong time. Well, it feels like we started at the wrong time. But if you maybe in a year or two, all right, that's why long-term investors shouldn't really think about this money for like 2, 3, 4, 5 years. In 2 years, even though you thought you bought at a wrong time, your investments might do a lot better than when the wrong time you bought them at. So sometimes patience is definitely key in this. Actually, patience is definitely key in this market. Uh, Man, so is anybody think what are you guys thinking of buying? Any of you guys buying anything else this upcoming week? Are you guys excited for earnings? I'm actually excited for Intel. Um, RM, you're learning some expensive lessons. Well, I mean, RM, may I ask how old are you? Are you super young, super not young? Um, and feel free to ask me to tell me to mind my business. I just want to see in perspective where you're at. Um, Waiting for a good news on cannabis. 45 RM. So I mean, 45. It's my parents just recent. My parents, right? My mom is 50 and my dad is 52. They just started investing. They really just did. And a lot of people say that's late, but hey, you're already way ahead of them, RM. So even though you might be learning some late lessons or some expensive lessons right now, you still what have. I mean, 45 is still pretty young. I'm not there, but even I feel like even at 45, I still will feel pretty young. Um, so even expensive lessons now, but over time, hey RM, some things to definitely take a look at is you don't have to always just invest in individual stocks, and this is to anybody out there, right? Individual stocks isn't the only way. I'm guessing 20. Nah, Danny, I am 28 years old, about to be 29 next month. So I'm almost there in my 30s, Danny. I'm 28, turning 29 in a month. Um, but RM, right? Just don't believe you only have to invest in individual stocks. Um, ETFs, index funds, those are great moves. Great moves for sure. I know a lot of people believe ETFs and index funds are yeah, they had me at a very young age, Danny. um, they had me at a very young age. I think my mom might have been like 21 when she had me. Um, but right, ETFs, even though they're boring, ETFs, index funds are boring. I would still enjoy holding them, right? Even for example, for my parents, for my brother who's young, they don't really like stock picking. So I push them into ETFs. I push them into ETF following index funds as well. Um, so then yeah, 28 years old. Um, yeah, let's see. Fizz, you keep making me look at food. LOL. Ah man, Fizz and food are like the biggest. They're the best couple in the world. Fizz and food. So John, what's going on, John Wasteman? What's your take on Chinese stocks? They've all been hammered for some time. So John, very true. I mean, I think this has always been. I mean, again, just how I said about ETFs and individual stocks, the same thing I would say about international stocks. Chinese stocks, international stocks are not for everybody. I don't think it's bad if you invest in them. I don't think it's bad if you don't invest in them. I think you have to understand the risk. right? So John, for me, I do have a good, I wouldn't say maybe 10-15% in China, maybe not even, maybe 10% in Chinese stocks. I'm happy with that position size. I believe there's a lot of risk international, so I limit my exposures. I really like that market right now, right? The emerging market. Some big plays are like Tencent, Baba, JD. When I invest in Chinese stocks, though, John, I tend to invest on just like some of the big players. I've kind of been burnt a little bit with the smaller guys. For example, I got burnt with Luckin Coffee, Lucky Coffee, whatever, due to fraud. So I tend to stay now with like the big players like JD, like Tencent. So for me, I like it when investing in big companies. I think the more Baba too. Gordon, thank you. Gordon, I appreciate the support. It really does mean a lot, man. Thank you so much. You guys, it helps so much. It really does. I don't think I can never say thank you guys for watching my videos, hitting the thumbs up, for commenting. You guys have allowed me to kind of do this almost on a full-time basis, and it really does mean a lot. But yeah, so who was I talking to? John Weissman, I believe, if I remember his name. So they are being hammered again. I still believe there's some risk to them. So if there's a few like I like Tencent, JD. I don't like Bob. I don't have Baba. Nothing against it though. But right now would be a time. Hey, if I wanted to enter the Chinese markets, right now would be a time where I wouldn't mind opening some nice size positions, but at the same time limiting my exposure. I think in international companies, even outside of China, right? International companies, it's good to understand there's risk. It's good to understand that, hey, maybe my portfolio is okay with it, but I'm only gonna expose myself to 5%, 10%, and no more than that. I'm holding Oh, nice, Gordon. Yeah, so Gordon, I have PDD. That's another one. So PDD and JD are two I own. I own Tencent, JD, and I forget, NIU, not NIO, and IU. And Gordon, it's just yours, right, Gordon? I mean, pretty sure if you've been investing for such a long time, this has always been the thing, right? It's and judo, Huya. Yeah, I forgot Huya as well. Thank you, and judo. Man, some of you guys know my portfolio a lot more than I remember it. But limiting that exposure, right? That's, I believe, a great play. And what's the other thing? 10 years. I mean, I've been investing for 7 years, 8 years now. And since I started investing, you always hear that thing that, hey, it's bad to invest in these companies. But Tencent has given me great returns. NIO has given me great returns. JD has given me great returns. So overall, I do believe, I do believe they can still provide great returns. So Valorant, what are you 10 stocks or 30 stocks? So Valorant, I do think there's no perfect answer. Really, no perfect answer. So it might, I believe a 1 position portfolio can do well. I believe a 100 position portfolio can do well. So I personally believe in both, Valerian. For example, I believe I have about 40 positions, and you guys are gonna be like, wow, Jose, what the heck do you have 40 positions? But 4 of my positions make up like a third of my portfolio. I believe my top 5 positions make up around 33 to 35. So I have high convictions on my favorite stocks, and I believe like 20%, my top 20 stocks make up like 80% of my portfolio. So I believe conviction does play a good role, but I also don't mind holding a little bit positions of smaller companies. So I believe it's good to go heavy on your big players and to go small on players you might believe are 10 baggers. For me, it's different, right? Every investor is different. Some people might just want to go super heavy on 10 positions, and that's okay. I don't think there's a perfect way of investing. But I do believe it is important to go heavy on the ones you really like. For example, Nvidia, that's my number 1 position. It's roughly 10%, 8 to 10% of my portfolio in one stock. Then you have my tier 1 stocks, which are my top 4 stocks, is Unity, C Limited, Nvidia, and Sorens. Those make up like, I want to say over 30% of my portfolio on those 4 stocks. For me, I'm just slowly building up my portfolio. I got far, but about maybe 8 to 10 long-term positions, and I do trading on the side. Nice, Danny. So like I mentioned, right, every investor Every investor has their own style, right? And some people might do 8 to 10 long-term positions, and then everything else might be everything else might be like a trade, a short-term trade. So every investor is different. I don't think there's a perfect answer. You see ETFs outperforming people with 50 positions. You see individual investors outperforming companies with 3 positions. So whatever works for you. That's the best thing I could say. So guys, today I am done. I have to go work on a few videos. I appreciate so much the time you guys come to watch these streams. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Gordon, I appreciate the donation. It means so much. It really does. Hopefully one day I can thank you guys so much more and do so much more for the community from all this help that you guys are giving me. So take care, guys. Have a good day and see you next time. Time for me to end this stream.